Language and the brain is a field of study that explores how language is processed, represented, and understood in the human brain. To be more precise, this field is called neurolinguistics, a study of the relationship between language and the brain. Numerous studies have been conducted to uncover the mysteries of the human brain, specifying in specific parts of the left hemisphere. 4 parts of the brain have been discovered, which is the broadcast area, Wernicke's area, arcuate fasciculus, and the motor cortex. The results in this study managed to prove that specific cortical regions in our brain, such as the Broca area, is crucially involved in the generation and production of spoken language, and the Wernicke's area is crucially involved in the understanding of spoken language. These 2 parts of the brain are closely related to one another, traditionally associated with the comprehension of language, including the arcuate fasciculus and the motor cortex. There are a few moments where we might mess up our wording or simply occurs as symptoms. This video will explain about a few slips. No, not that slip. A few tongue tips and slips and linguistic impairments relating to the brain. Slips of the tongue refers to a mistake in speech when a speaker says something different than what they intended. According to a study from Scientific American by Victoria A. Fromkin, slips of the tongue are actually quite predictable and non-random. Although we can't predict when this slip will happen, we can, however, predict what kinds of slips will. Slips of the tongue occurs when a word or a sound of the word are placed in the wrong places, such as black boxes or use the door to open the key. Another type of slip of the tongue is called spoonerism. Slips of the tongue may be closer related to language and the brain more than you think. Victoria's studies prove that slip of the tongue may provide more insight into the cognitive process involved in language production. By studying slips of the tongue, researchers can better understand how the brain encodes, retrieves, and produces language, as well as the natural mechanism that underlines speech errors. Now here's a short video to help get you understand what is slip of the tongue.
I have not done my job since I've gotten here. I can chew and walk gum at the same time. I can chew gum and walk it. I have not done my job since I've gotten here. I can chew and walk gum at the same time. I can chew gum and walk at the same.
Funny, isn't it? This is a clear example of slip of the tongue, or as we all know, William A. Spooner's problem. Spoonerism is when 2 words or 2 parts of words are switched. The man in the video unintentionally mixed up his word, far from saying chew gum and walk to chew and walk gum. Slip of the tongue is not a severe symptom, but sometimes it could happen due to nervousness, a bit of stuttering, or that he spoke too fast. That's all from me. On to Ihsan.
Hey! Hi, have you ever heard about language and the brain? So language and the brain is one of the so many things that I have learned in Ital. So language and the brain is about a certain part in our brain that is correlated with a production and recognition of language. So I will be explaining about slip of the ear. Slip of the ear is a process which is you hear a word or a phrase as another, or simply said, when you hear something, you misheard the word or you misunderstood the word. Oh, there you are. Then let's talk about the connection between slip of the ear and the tip, which is language and the brain. So when we hear something, there is one certain part in our brain that will comprehend the thing that we hear. So if we lack lexical knowledge, or we don't understand the different accent, or we don't even know about what we are talking about with other people, our brain will comprehend the other thing, which will lead to misunderstanding. So I will show you the real world example.
Who's the hottest Uber driver you've ever had?
I never went to Uber driver.
So from the video, we can see that the guy was saying Uber driver, even even though the woman was saying Uber driver. So we can say that the guy didn't understand what the woman was saying. Maybe because the different accent, or maybe the guy don't even know what is Uber. So that his brain will comprehend the other word, that is slip of the ear.
Oh, I didn't see you there. So today I'll be explaining about slip of the brain. Slip of the brain happens when you accidentally exchange the sounds of two words. This could happen when you already plan your words ahead of you and accidentally change their position. According to Dr. Karen Gabb, she said that slip of the brain happen randomly because it involves our subconscious mind. For the relationship between the concept and the theme, we could see that when we are planning our words ahead of us, sometimes we jumble up those words and could lead us to slip of the brain. Slip of the brain and slip of the tongue are quite easy to be mistaken from each other because both are involved with switching up words. So here is a real world example for you guys to further clarify those differences.
You genuinely wish you may make. Oh my god, you genuinely can't.
As you guys can see from the video, a streamer named Ash mispronounced Mish Wish instead of Me Wish when she tried to read one of her comments. So this is an example of brain sleep. To be precise, anticipation when she brought the sound ish to the front. Okay, that's all from me. So I'll be passing the video to That's all from me. I'll pass the video to Ital.
You see, in our brain, there is a special part for the production of language, which is the anterior speech cortex, or as we may call it, the broadcast area. Now, what happens if a person gets into a car accident or they experience a stroke? And this area is damaged. This is what we call broadcast aphasia, where aphasia means the impairment of language function due to localized brain damage.
So what's your name?
Scott. Oh, no. Sarah Scott.
That's right. And how old are you?
I can't.
Try.
I can't.
You're 19. 19.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what happened to you?
Stroke.
As you can see, Sarah has been asked questions and she doesn't seem to have any difficulties understanding the question. That's because her wordings area, the area that specializes in understanding language, is fully intact. However, when it comes to answering the questions, that's where the problem lies. As you can see from the video, Sarah would answer slowly, one word at a time. And in certain questions, for example, the question about her age, she simply says that this is one of the major symptoms of broadcast aphasia. The stroke that she went through has damaged her broadcast area and therefore has caused such impairments to her language. Poor Sarah.
Okay, thank you Ikwan for speaking about broadcast aphasia. Now I'll be taking over and speak about more profound wordings aphasia. Hi everyone, so I'll be talking about my part. So, wordings aphasia is also known as receptive aphasia, is a language disorder that impacts the ability to understand spoken language and to produce meaningful language. It typically arises from damage to a part that is commonly known as wordings area, named by Carl Wernicke, according to the Aphasia Center. This condition can serve as a profound example when discussing the theme of the language and the brain. In applied linguistics, wordings aphasia can be related to the intricate process of language comprehension and production within the brain. Individuals with this condition may speak in long sentences fluently, but they don't have meanings and unnecessary words, and sometimes they can even create new words. This is because wordings area, which is responsible for processing and understanding language, is partially or sometimes fully impaired. As a result, although the speech of a person with wordings aphasia will appear fluent in terms of rhythm and syntax, it at the end of the day lacks meaning and is often described as word salad.
Thanks. And say baseball player, baseball. Okay. Caterpillar, cantaloupe. Okay.
According to the real example, the interlocutor has been said to the old woman. She pronounced the word baseball, but the woman, due to her Wernicke's aphasia syndrome, failed to comprehend the word baseball, and instead she understood the word as Babe Ruth. So this correlates with the Wernicke's aphasia syndrome, where her Wernicke's area is partially or maybe even fully impaired. So this results as whatever that she heard, all of her comprehension went down the hill and she pronounced the false comprehended word. So that is it for the real world explanation. In summary, Wernicke's aphasia serves as a key example in applied linguistics for understanding how specific brain areas are crucial for language. It shows us that this particular place in the brain that has a big job, or in other words, making sense of the words we hear and helping us to see the right words when we speak. When this area is damaged, it can cause a lot of confusion in communication, which is essential for human interaction, like me and you. Right. Okay, guys, we have reached to the end of this video. We hope that you can understand these topics. Actually, I don't know what else to say. So, yeah, please refer the video back. Thank you. Bye.